I'm so thankful to be here and to be moving together. Let's start with our ankles under our knees, tilt our pelvis upright, ribs relax down and back, and then reach your arms out to the sides, and we'll just take our right arm across towards our left arm, any amount, and reach out and bring the left arm across and open. Right arm. Start to tune into your breath, left arm, right arm, left arm. And then right arm holds. Try to notice if your hand's rolling this way, try to rotate your palm a little bit more up towards the ceiling, your elbow drops down. Just tuck your chin in towards your throat, just to feel the base of the skull where it meets the neck. And then let your head go ahead and drop down all the way. Breathing here, feeling the upper back, feeling from your fingers to your shoulders. And then slide your head back, open your right arm, reach your left arm across any amount. Try to rotate the palm of your hand a little bit more up so your elbow relaxes down, your shoulder relaxes down. Just tuck your chin in towards your throat, letting your breath flow. And then let your head drop further down, relaxing your face, relaxing your jaw. And then slide your head back and open your arms out and walk your feet open nice and wide with the outer edges of the feet straight. Tilt the pelvis upright. Lower your hands a little lower than your shoulders. Put a really micro bend in your elbows and then rotate from your upper arm bones all the way one way and all the way the other. And as you go back, you're trying to turn your thumbs a little bit farther back behind you, your elbows a little bit more forward. Start to tune into your breath as you rotate. Smooth inhales and exhales. Okay, so when you are in internal rotation, go ahead and do that with me, your palms behind you. Don't do this fast, but when you lift up, your arms kind of stop because your joint doesn't move in that way. It doesn't want to go higher, and if you keep pushing it to go higher in this way, it will start to not be good for your joint. So that's why we rotate our palms up as we go up and down. But if you're able to turn your hands a little bit more behind you, it will even create more space in the joints. So you want to try to keep rotating your arms as you go up and down. So think of that rotation, and you can just keep it by your sides, or you can bring it a little bit in front of you if that gives you more space. But it's almost as though when you go up, the back of your hands are facing forward, and when you go down, you're trying to lead down with your thumbs. And if there's like no way, if your arms are still at the point where your hands are turning forward, you're just trying to really keep your palms up. But this is next step of trying to get a little bit more rotation in the other direction as you go up and down, and tune into your breath here. Okay, so now we're going to go nice and slow, but we're going to add in, with your arms down, a head hang. So let your head hang down. Really let it hang down as your arms go up and down. And just notice when your arms start to go up, does your neck automatically want to try to lift up? Keep letting it hang down as you go up and down with your arms. So you can work on multiple different things. You can work on your head hanging, your arms going up and down, and you can also add on the rotation of your arm bones as your arms go up and down. Keep breathing here. Smooth inhales and exhales. And then next time your arms come down, slide your head back, turn your palms to face forward, wrap your right arm on top, right arm stacked on top of left, so then right hand ends up being on top, left hand on the bottom as you wiggle your hands around and let your elbows drop down a little bit, and then walking your fingers around as much as you can, any amount. Tilt your pelvis upright, let your thigh bones roll in towards each other, and open away from each other. Try to go slow with the legs. So especially if you find that you kind of flop open and flop shut, go a little bit slower And then if your legs do not flop very easily, if it's very tight to go in and out, you can take your time to push open a little bit more or bring your legs in a little bit more. Breathing here. All right, next time you open, hold from the very top of the thigh groin area, open your arms up. Left arm stacks on top of right, wiggle fingers around. So left hand is on top, right hand is a little bit lower. And then from there, let's go back to the thighs. And I have a tendency to drop in. So for me, the work is to go a lot slower. Breathing here. If you just tend to be stiffer around this area, maybe do a few rounds a little bit faster as long as it doesn't bother your joints. And I'm not talking about Speedy Gonzalez, just a little bit quicker. Breathing here. All right, next time you open your legs, open your arms up wide, let your hands come down. So choices, if you don't have something to lift your feet up on, maybe just stay right here and keep working on your inner thigh and groin area. Otherwise, if you have a block, you can use it any height, lowest height, medium height, highest height, and you can put it underneath your feet and bring the soles of your feet together and your knees open out to the sides. And then you're continuing to work on tilting your pelvis upright while you're here, thighs opening and relaxing open. Okay, so we do this a lot. Arms by our sides, rotating palms up, going up and down. And one thing you might have heard me say is like if you're having a shoulder issue, is to start with your arms a little bit forward. Make sure that helps you make sure that your ribs are relaxed down and back and that also your shoulder blades are staying wide. But let's start really close. So let's start with our pinky fingers all the way together, ribs relax down, and we'll go up and down here. Breathing. So all of these different angles are just such great angles to work on. Okay, so from there, open your hands, but they're not even close to shoulder distance apart yet, just like an inch or so between your two fingers, and go up and down there. And just to the best of your ability, try to maintain that width or something close to it, within a couple inches. Okay, open your arms a little wider, so now you're closer to shoulder distance apart. And we'll go up and down here. Ribs stay relaxed down a lot and back. So it's very tempting as your arms go up and they won't go any farther to either lift the chest or lean the upper back back. Try to stay upright. Don't worry about how far you're going. Work on alignment, and range of motion will come over time. Okay, open your hands a little wider than shoulder distance apart and go up and down here. Breathing. And I'm just feeling like this is not something we do enough. So we're going to start adding this in more. Great for the upper back area. Okay, open your hands a little wider. So maybe they're still quite a bit in front of you. Mine are close to my knees. And go up and down there. Breathing. All right, and then take your hands a little bit wider. So they're still quite forward. And this might be where, when I tell you to work with your arms a little bit forward, this might be where you start, just to make sure your ribs are staying down and back, your shoulder blades are staying nice and wide. But now let's take the arms open a little more so they're right in line with your shoulders, and go up and down here, and you're still paying attention to your ribs relaxing down and back. Okay, so over time, and you don't want to just do one or the other all the time, you want to vary it slightly, sometimes a little forward, sometimes in line with your shoulders, but sometimes how about going back a little bit? You don't want to start here if you're having a neck or shoulder issue. You want to really make sure your ribs stay relaxed down and back. You want to keep rotating your palms up. So if there's no way when you slide your hands back, if they just keep turning forward, work a little forward for a while. But otherwise, with your palms rotating up, pull your arms just ever so slightly behind your shoulders and go up and down there. And my gosh, when you go up, it really might want to pull your rib cage up if you're working with tight chest muscles. So really lessen your range of motion. Just keep the arms back and breathing here. All right, and then let your arms come down. So hopefully you could feel those subtle differences. Arms a little forward at first, straight out by your side, and then sometimes you can practice those angel arms with your arms back a tiny bit, but just keep checking on the alignment of your ribs, your neck sliding back, the rotation of your arm bones. You can take your feet off of there and slide it out of, or slide the block out of the way, and let's spin around to our first lunge. So spin around, slide your knee back right underneath your hip, ankle right behind your knee, and then with your front ribs relaxing down, just drop either, you can do either one. You can do your chin in towards your throat if you like to hit more of the base of the skull, or you can let your head drop down further, and then roll your chin just a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left. And bring your chin back to center, and now take that back foot and steer it towards the chair a little bit to a lot to change the angle of the stretch. Keep relaxing your hip muscles, and then with your torso straight ahead, just turn and look over one shoulder, and then turn and look over the other shoulder, and turn and look, and turn and look, chin parallel with the floor. And let's do that 2 more times, each side with the neck. All right, bring your head back to center, bring your foot back to center, then slide your foot a little bit away from the chair. And you can play with a little farther, depending if you can still keep all your toes down, no discomfort in the ankle, the knee, or the hip. And then from there, activate your foot, and let's do side to side, looking straight ahead. One ear drops to one shoulder, and then the other ear to the other shoulder. If you notice your chin tends to lead the way, back your chin up a little bit, and take your time and go side to side here. It's okay to pause and stay and breathe. A couple more times each side. Always check on the ribs when you're working on moving your neck muscles. And then bring your head back to center, bring that foot back to center, slide that foot forward. You might have seen me kick the ball. We are going to use that in a little while. So if you have a chance and you don't have your ball nearby, grab your ball. Start with your ankle right behind your knee, torso upright, drop your chin down to the center of the chest, and maybe roll your chin a little bit side to side. Soften the face, relax the jaw. Smooth inhales and exhales. Bring your head to center, lift it up, slide your foot over towards the chair, ribs relax down, and on this one, let's do ear to shoulder first. So one ear to one shoulder, and then the other ear to the other shoulder. Just tilting the neck over without tilting the torso. Breathing as you go side to side at your own pace. One more time each side, wherever you are. And then bring your head up to center, bring that foot back to center, scoot that foot any amount away from the chair, active foot, as long as there's no discomfort in any of the joints, and turn your neck all the way to one side and all the way to the other without turning your torso. Just the neck is turning. Feel the muscles, feel the skin around the neck, tuning into your breath. One more each side. And then bring your head back, bring your foot back, slide that leg forward, spin back around to the front of the chair. All right, grab your strap, extend your right leg long, wrap the strap around the ball of your foot right below your toes, and then you're going to, sitting up nice and tall here in your pelvis, you might have to maneuver the strap a little, put it at a little bit of an angle so it's right below your toes, but of course your big toe is a little higher than your pinky toe. And then you're going to push away into the strap and you're going to pull back on the strap. So normally we flex our ankle on our own, but today we're going to use the leverage of the strap to gently pull back a little bit. So push away into the strap and pull back. The strap has to stay a little taut as you push away because otherwise you'll lose the strap. But then you pull back. You're not flexing your ankle, you're using your arms to pull back. And then point and pull back. Now keep pulling back, hinge forward from your hips, let your chest go forward a little. We're trying to mostly fold with a flat back. So instead of your spine rounding as you fold forward, you're trying to tilt from your pelvis, move your chest forward, and keep your spine mostly nice and long as you actively but gently pull back on the ball of your foot. And then come on up and switch legs. So wrap the strap around the ball of your left foot, kind of at a diagonal is helpful so it's right below all of the toes. Your right ankle under your right knee, and then push away and pull back actively. Push away and pull back. Press away and pull back through the strap and press away and pull back through the strap. Now keep the resistance as you rotate forward from your pelvis. You can hold on with one hand or two. Feel your spine stay nice and long as your chest goes forward, and then keep gently but actively pulling back on the ball of the foot to get a little more length through your leg. Do try to straighten the leg all the way if you notice the knee bending. Breathing here. All right, and come on back up and release that strap. Okay, so you have options. We're going to do the number 4 stretch. You always have the option of doing the block, lowest height, medium height, highest height. This morning I actually did it lowest height because I hadn't done that for a while. But right now I am going to go back to crossing my ankle over my knee. So wherever is comfortable for you, but make sure to vary it. But what we're going to do here is we're going to tuck and untuck our pelvis. You're going to let your pelvis tuck and untuck. So this is a good indication. If this isn't happening in your pelvis without your spine going back and forth, if you can't tuck and untuck your pelvis, then that's an indication that probably more often you want to work with your foot a little bit lower. So then what you could do is use your block, or if you have 2 blocks, you could even create a little building and put your foot up and tuck and untuck your pelvis here. So let the ability to untuck and tuck your pelvis without your spine going forward and back, without your ribs thrusting up and down, to be a clue as to what height you should practice at more often. If your pelvis doesn't move easily with your ankle over your knee, then more often practice at the lower heights. Breathing here. And then next time you come into that upright position, stay there. Take your right arm up and over into a side bend. Take your left arm up and over into a side bend. Good. Bring that hand down. Interlace your right pinky finger on the bottom, hands behind your head. Think of keeping your pelvis upright, just leaning your upper back a little bit. You're looking up at the ceiling, but without thrusting your ribs too far forward, without lifting your chin up. And then bring your torso back up. Release your arms down. Tilt your pelvis upright. Twist your belly button to the right. Feel the turn of the waist. And then twist your belly button to the left. Feel the twist of the waist. And then unwind and hinge forward from your hips, any amount. Check, does your outer ankle collapse to whatever you have on? Can you push forward so that the sides of your ankle, the sides of your foot are straight instead of collapsing into the outer ankle? Now, if you arrange the ankle differently and your thigh goes way up here or lifts up a lot, then just relax your ankle and come back to your ankle later as your hip releases more. And again, with a flat back, try to rotate the pelvis and bring the spine forward, keeping your spine a little closer to straight. We do both ways in this class. Sometimes we round the spine, sometimes we try to fold with a flat back. If you have lower back issues, sacral iliac joint issues, you probably need to spend more time with the flat back, which may mean you're not using as much range of motion, but you're going to move a lot more from your actual hip joint where your thigh bone meets your pelvis instead of your spine. All right, come on up and let's switch legs. So you can do the same height, or you can test out your pelvic tilt and then arrange from there. I'm going to do this lift. I know I need more of this because when I lift my leg up, just without tilting my pelvis back and like how high can my leg go, I need to use momentum or my hand to get it up here, but I can usually get it a little bit higher than the highest block. So a building is good for me, something a little bit higher. All right, from here, tuck and untuck your pelvis. But think about keeping your spine pretty straight up and down so you're not going forward and back with your spine. That will help you see that you're actually moving from your pelvis and your feet are helping, your legs are helping, your thigh bones pull in as you sit upright. Breathing. Ribs stay relaxed down. And the next time you're in the upright position, take your left arm up and over into a side bend. Breathing, take your right arm up and over into a side bend. Good, bring that hand down, interlace left pinky finger on the bottom, hands nice and secure so your neck feels nice and supported. Think of pelvis upright, but lean back from the upper back. And we're trying to get some lean back without overly thrusting the ribs forward. Ooh, when I thrusted my ribs, my back just cracked a little bit. When you thrust your ribs, your spine is doing more of this instead of this. So you want the spine to bend. You don't want to just shear your spine all the time. So think of ribs relaxing down, but still trying to bend back through your mid back and your upper back, which mobility there will help your lower back and your neck not work overtime. And then bring your torso back up, release your hands, pelvis upright, twist your belly to your left. And twist your belly to your right. Good opportunity to check, does your ankle collapse like mine does? Maybe tilt it, keep letting the thigh drop open and hinge forward from your hips. Nice long spine. So right away I went forward and then my spine dived down a little bit. I'm going to bring it back up, tilt from my pelvis and almost feel as though your spine is going forward a little bit instead of rounding back. Take another breath or two here. And come on up and uncross. Okay, just sitting in our classic neutral pose. Outer edges of feet straight, ankles under the knee, tilt your pelvis upright, relax your ribs down and back. Keep in mind, anytime, especially you're working through an issue in your shoulders or your neck, the first piece is ribs relax down and back. Same thing, anytime you're working on a lower body issue, especially starting with your hips, your lower back, first thing is check your pelvis in neutral. All right, from the ribs relaxing down and back, one hand to a breastbone, and we'll do some head ramping, where your head goes forward a little and slides straight back over your shoulders, keeping your chin parallel with the floor. So it's like going down a ramp and back a ramp. It's not tilting back. The chin stays just parallel the whole time. The chin's not really lifting up and down. It's the neck motion. And if not today, eventually you will feel those upper back muscles turning on when you slide your head back, especially if you keep the ribs relaxed down in the front. Okay, so if your head ramp is not coming along easily, then for you, a lot more often, stretch your upper back muscles, things like this. Reach your right arm across, pull across, rotate your palm up and hold, and then you can even add a little head hang here. And that opening, that improving of range of motion of the upper back and the chest over time as well. Let's switch arms. Pull across, elbow and pit and palm rotate up, maybe drop the head down a little bit, is going to help your head slide back with more ease. Breathing here. Now if you've got the head and it's going back, that's a good thing. But let's say you keep stretching your neck muscles. Let's say drop your right ear to your right shoulder. If you keep stretching your neck muscles and you don't feel like my neck is improving, my neck is getting better, chances are, just like the rest of your body, it has something to do with the alignment that you keep unconsciously moving it. So a neck stretch with your head slightly forward is a lot different than ramping your head back and tilting your ear over to your shoulder. It might lessen the range of motion, but you'll get more into the muscles that need your attention. So if you're not seeing results with your neck stretches, focus on ramping your head back first and then going into the stretch. Left ear over to left shoulder and breathing here. And you can do the same thing, bring your head up with a twist, pelvis upright, ribs relaxed down, hand to the breastbone to keep it steady, ramp the head back and turn and look over the right shoulder. And even as you're turning to the right, you can feel like you're slightly sliding your ears back over your shoulder. And then bring your head back to center, ramp your head back and turn and look over the left shoulder. And even here, you can feel like you're sliding your ears back a little bit. Breathing here. Good. Unwind. Okay, we are going to stick with either your block at any height or your ankle over your knee. But if it's hard enough for you to get your pelvis upright with your ankle over your knee, you're not going to do what I'm going to show you next, which is just simply, how about lifting your left foot a little bit higher? And then you're still trying to maintain your pelvis upright, but then you have to get your foot even higher across your knee. But you want to do this without your pelvis being stuck back here. So rotating your pelvis forward, and wherever you choose, whatever level, fold a little bit forward here. So just a little way to change up the angle, but you want to let your body adapt step by step. And even if you've been doing this for a year with your ankle just on your knee without a lift and your pelvis is still rotating back, stick with that. Keep doing that. Don't overdo it. And let's switch sides. So you can do foot on a block or ankle over the knee or foot on any kind of tower that you create. Or, we've never done this before, you can put your foot up, which heightens your knee, which makes you have to lift your leg up even higher, but then it makes you have to work to untuck your pelvis even more and maybe hinge forward there any amount. Nice long spine. Spine going forward. If you want more, you can always drop the head down, but feel a long spine. Good, and come up and uncross, and you can slide that block out of the way. And then spin around to your right, slide your left knee right underneath your hip. You can just stay here and enjoy this lunge and relax, or you can lean your torso forward as you try to stretch your leg back any amount, spine in one long line with the leg, and then as the knee bends, the torso comes upright. And over time, you'll find a place where your foot can stay for both the extension and the bend. Hinge forward, extend any amount, reaching long through the inner thigh, the outer thigh, the back of the thigh. Feel all 5 toes is helpful. and then come on up and let that knee bend down. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathing here. And let's spin our around to the other side. All right, knee starts under the hip. Hinge forward a little bit. This is where you find maybe I'll slide my foot back a little as I extend my leg nice and long. And then come back up, torso right over the hips, hips right over the knee approximately, and extend long through the back of the thigh, outer thigh, inner thigh. Feel that pinky toe of your foot, and let's do that 2 more times. All right, and bend and slide that leg forward, spin back around to the front of the chair. And from here, let's roll our ball. So grab your ball. We're just gonna do a little bit. We're also gonna do a top of the foot stretch. So you're gonna tuck the top of your foot under unless that's not comfortable. Doing this with socks is just fine. And with your one foot tucked under, you're just gonna roll the other ball up and down. You can just work on the top of the foot stretch. You can just work on the ball rolling. Breathing here. And as I mentioned, we're not staying long, so just try to get every stripe of the foot. Try to get that inner arch stripe. Try to get the center stripes, and do try to get that outer edge stripe of the foot, the hardest one often to control for most people. Just giving a little love to our feet. You can roll the ball any way you'd like to. Vertical stripes is just the simple go-to, but you can do side to side sometimes. You can do circles. All right, let's switch feet. So, left top of the foot tucks under. Try to get above the toes if possible. You can always wear a thicker sock if it's more comfortable, and then roll the ball up and down the sole of your other foot. So every 2 years, if you're like a personal trainer or certified through Nutritious Movement with Katie like I am, you have to renew your certification. You have to, and after doing this for so long and renewing my certification, it's more like maybe here or there I learn things by taking courses, but it's more just like good reminders of things to work on. And it always just renews my faith in this work. Not that I ever lost it in the first place, but it's just like the magic of these small movements to really understand our bodies, learn about our bodies, take better care of our bodies. It's just incredible. So after I do those courses every couple of years, I'm just reinvigorated about and passionate about movement and doing this not only for your bodies, also for my own body as well, but of course very much for your bodies too. It just gives me so much joy when I hear regularly people's arthritis starting to go away, bone density tests coming back better, so many different things starting to feel better in the body. Just learning, someone just told me the other day that tilting the pelvis upright when they're sitting, they finally just started doing it when they're sitting on their computer, and now their back is starting to feel much better. It's incredible. Okay, you can release that foot. You can untuck the top of your other foot and put that ball to the side. And then with your ankles hip distance apart, right under your knees, push down. Watch the thighs collapsing in or out. Push your hips back as you come up and come around to the back of your chair. With your feet straight and your ankles hip distance apart, walk back, 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs. Outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. You can work on the neutral rotation of your thigh bones. Smooth inhales and exhales. And then how about sitting your hips back? If your knees pop past your ankles, try to slide your hips back a little bit more to get more length through the sides of your spine. Smooth inhales and exhales, a couple rib breaths here. And then push down through your feet to come back up and from upright. So last week, we're going to do a little bit of the same series. Last week, we pushed down and we did the bottom of our toes. And that sometimes is a little bit easier than trying to balance on the top of your foot or if the top of the foot stretch is uncomfortable. So you can stick with that. You can stick with bottom of the toes, or you can press down and hug in your hip and do top of the foot. And just go side to side with top of the foot. And this moving in and out or back and forth between side to side is a great practice to get into if it ever doesn't feel good on your body to hold a position for very long. Instead, while we're holding, you can move in and out, either just in and out on one side, or you can go back and forth between sides. So I can't be there with everybody. Even if I am teaching a large class, I'm not giving individual attention. You have to feel your body and how it's feeling today, and sometimes hold and sometimes go in and out. But those are both strategies you can use to take care of your body. Next time the top of your right foot goes back, find that center spot where you can feel all across the top of your foot. Let's let our left hip go out to the side a little. If your hip doesn't go out very much, you're trying to improve that range of motion. And then when you hug in, it's a big pushing down action to create space through all of your joints. Switch sides. Push down through the right hip, tuck the top of the left foot, try to feel right above all the toes. Let your hip go out to the side. If your hip easily goes out to the side, when you push down and hug in, you've got to hug in more because your hips can more easily slide even micro degrees out to the side. So you've got to work on the hugging in if you have that range of motion or even extra range of motion. Bring the foot back. Let's go back to the first side. Push down, hug the hip in, tuck the top of the right foot, try to feel below all the toes, try to relax any clenching around the top of the foot. And then work on that pelvic list, the top of the pelvic list. This is the pelvic list, out and in, but work on the top of the pelvic list as you float your foot forward. And then lower the foot down. Push down through the other side, hug the hip in, tuck the top of the foot behind you. So great place to work on the pelvic list and build a little strength. And then eventually you do it balancing on one leg, but really keep that hip hugging in, pressing down as you bring that foot forward. And it's almost like a test. How far did my hip want to move? Like, did you feel your thigh move even a little bit? That's showing you something is not stabilizing just yet. Okay, grab whatever you're going to do your calf stretch on and put the ball of your right foot up and your heel down. Outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. And let's just shift our hips here a little bit to right and a little bit to left. So keep in mind, if your hips easily travel side to side, then even when you're standing on two legs, there's more chance that you favor one leg a little bit more than the other. You could even still favor one leg more if your hips don't travel a lot side to side. But I see it a lot in people who have a lot of hip mobility. So find that center space, hold there, and turn and look over your right shoulder without turning your torso. And just notice, with your ribs relaxed down, can you ramp your head back a little bit even while you turn your neck to the right? And then bring your head back to center, turn your neck to the left. And just see here, does your head kind of lean the way? Without lifting your chin, can you ramp your head back a little bit, even from your neck twist? Feel equal weight on both of your legs. And bring your head back. And from here, let's put a bend in our right knee. Start with edge of the foot straight. As you bend the knee, steer it to the center of the foot. As you do that, you might notice your foot wants to slip in, so you have to re-straighten your foot. And I will just say for a long, long time, I felt my straight leg calf stretch and not my bent knee calf stretch as much. And now I'm starting to feel the bent knee calf stretch even more. I'm appreciating it more. Switch sides, start with straight leg. So it's definitely something you can add in any time. Step your outside foot forward. It might prove my theory that some of the time when you can't feel a muscle, it's because it's somewhat atrophied. And so the more you do it, the more it starts to wake up the nerves in that area and the more the muscle starts to come to life. All right, shift your hips a tiny little bit. And one great thing about little movements is you discover things about your body. Let's say that you have like little pull going on here or a little something going on around your hips. We're humans, we're just always going to be, when I feel something in my body, I'm like, all right, this is a new puzzle for me to figure out. Maybe not that exciting for everyone, but that's how I think of it. But when you go to one side, someone might feel the little pull there or the little pull there. And that's a clue when you're doing these little motions that, oh, I feel that pull when I do this. And so maybe all day long, I'm doing a little bit of this. So you start to just connect with your body on a deeper level of seeing like, what places am I putting myself? And I know I'm putting myself there because I'm feeling that sensation that I question, that it's like, I probably shouldn't be feeling that so much. All right, bring your hips back to center. And from there, ramp your head back and right ear to right shoulder. And keep thinking of ramping your head back. Chin goes back a little, not down a little. Elbow pits wrap forward. Breathing. Relax, clenching around your legs, your buttocks muscles. Bring your head up. Lean over without leaning your torso. Ramp your head back a little bit. Equal weight. Are you clenching your leg muscles again? Relax them. Are you clenching one side more than the other? And my goodness, I clench my legs a lot less than I used to, but I still clench them a lot. Bring your head up and step off of there, and then you can push that out of the way. All right, feet straight, ankles hip distance. We're working on those balancing skills. Push down. I'm going to scoot over because you're going to need a little space. Push down. You could always do this on a chair or wall and then just turn yourself around when you do the other side. Hug your hip in, foot floats up, lift it out any amount. Lower down, either tap down or keep the ankle flexed and lift out again. And lower down, put that foot down. Edges of feet straight, ankles about hip distance, push down. For some people, it's more of the hugging in action. Flex your ankle, lift out. Notice what's going on with the standing leg hip as well. Lower down, either tap down or keep the ankle flexed. And lift out to the side. And lower down. Feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Sit back into your chair pose. Press up. Let's do one more like that. Sit back. Without your torso diving forward, can your hips, maybe your knees have to go forward, can your hips go down a little more and then slide your shins back and press up and then sit your hips back, step your right leg way back into a lunge. We'll start with the opposite arm, the left arm, put a micro bend, rotate the arm bone all the way one way, rotate the arm bone all the way the other way, bring the hand down, opposite arm right out to the side. Rotate the arm bone all the way one way. Rotate from the shoulder joint all the way the other way. Bring that hand down. Push off the center of your foot. Try to feel from your big toe to your pinky toe. Step up. Sit back. Step your left leg back. Find the center of the ball of the foot. Reach your right arm out first. Rotate and rotate. Bring the hand down. Reach the opposite arm out. Rotate and rotate. Keep on turning. Bring the hand back. Push off the center of the ball of the foot to press up And then from here, let's go ahead and hold onto our strap. In between our hands, if yours is wide, double it over. Your feet are hip distance apart, your arms are overhead. Pull the strap taut. Think of, am I tucking or untucking my pelvis? Pelvis neutral, but also separate from your pelvis are my thigh bones forward. Put your thigh bones back under your hips. So keep checking in with that. Side bend to the right. Side bend to the left. Pull the strap gently taut between your hands. Step your feet to 2. Check the tilt of the pelvis, the position of the thighs. Side bend to the right. Side bend to the left. And come up. Step open to 3. Weight back in the heels, neutral pelvis. Check your ankles. Do they roll to one side or the other? Center. Side bend to the right. Side bend to the left. Come back up, open your feet wider. So how about with every one, we're going to do this and then we're going to go back in. With every one, you just check one thing. Like here, you can follow along with me or check your own thing. We checked your ankles, we checked the pelvis, we checked the thigh bones. How about checking the ribs? Ribs drop down and back, over to the right, over to the left. Okay, let's do one more here with our feet wide. When you go over to the right, does your torso kind of twist? Keep your torso straight, come back up, go in the other direction, untwist, come back up, walk your feet into 3. Do your hands start to relax, pull taut, all the way over to the right taut, all the way over to the left taut, back to center, walk your feet into 2. How about, very important, are the outer edges of the feet straight? Side bend to the right and side bend to the left. Come back up, walk into hip distance apart, pull the strap taut. Once again, check hips over heels. Side bend to the right and side bend to the left. Oh, should feel good for the sides of the body. Bring your hands down. You can put your strap out of the way. Step your right foot forward into a pyramid pose. Your left foot back. Feet, ankles, hip distance apart. Feet pretty straight, especially that back foot. Palms, thumbs face forward. Reach the arms up into the air. Turn the palms to face forward. Circle them down, but if you want to pull them back a little bit, you can. And then once you get down by your side, pull your arm bones back. Also gently ramp your head back without lifting the ribs. Let's do that one more time. Arms sweep up in the air, palms face forward without pushing the chest forward at all. Maybe take them back behind you a little bit. And then pull the elbows back and relax your arms and switch feet. Left foot forward, right leg back, 2 straight legs. Sweep the arms up into the air. Rotate palms to face forward, circle around, maybe pull them back a little bit. And then pull your arm bones back. If you get a lot of cracking and popping, don't pull back quite so much. Sweep your arms up into the air. Turn your palms to face forward. As you circle down, maybe pull your arm bones back a little bit. Pull your arms back behind you and release your arms and lift off your back foot to step your foot forward. And from here, let's go ahead and walk back. 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs, and then you're going to put that bend in your knees. So if your knees are going way forward, walk your feet forward a little. So with your spine nice and long, pick up your left hand and do an angel arm here. But as you go forward, oftentimes the arm wants to drop down. Use those upper back muscles to try to keep the arm the same height the whole way. Put that hand down, slide your hips back, reach your right arm, circle it around. We'll do 2. Circle it back up. Try not to let the arm drop when it gets up closer to your head. Circle it down by your side. and circle it back up. Bring that hand down, push into your feet to come up to stand. Grab your strap. Overhead, taut. Side bend to the right. Come up. Push down through the right hip, hug it in, left foot up. Open the left leg. Bring it down, lower the foot down. Side bend to the left. Come back up. Push down through the left hip, maybe hug it in. Right ankle flexes. Lift the leg out to the side. Lower down, come down, hands come down. Now, if, of course, if this was straining anything, you don't do it. But if you find that the straight leg version strains and the bent knee didn't, go back to the bent knee version. Belly relaxed, tailbone up. If you tend to thrust your ribs, be careful of that, especially if it just irritates your spine. But how about a straight leg version of an angel arm? And once you get the motion, you're looking straight down at the floor. I know at first you have to look at the camera, but once you get it, lift your arm up, circle around, and back. But try not to let the arm drop down at any point. One more with that arm. And it might not just be like when you get here that it wants to dive down. It might be like somewhere along the path. Let's do the other arm. Keep it up even as you go over towards your head. One more like that. And when you get back around, hold it up before you put it down. Push your hips back for a moment. Push down through your legs. Come back to your strap. Pull it taut. Bend over to the right. Push down through your right hip. How about keep bending over to the right and also lift the left leg. Come back up. Bend over to the left. Pull the strap taut. Push down through the left hip. How about keep bending over to the left and also lift the right leg. And release your hands down. And you can put that strap down. And how about from here, if you can put a blanket or a towel over the back of your chair, definitely doesn't have to be this low. It's nice if you have sleeves. Can you put your elbows on your chair? Wiggle your feet back under your hips. Maybe your hands can rest together and you just kind of let your chest and your spine drop down a little bit. Great time to practice rotating your thigh bones into neutral to stabilize around your hips. Neck is nice and long, chin not lifting up or dropping down necessarily. Of course, if you can rest your forehead on your chair, you could do that if you'd like to. And ground through your legs. Push down through your elbows a little to come up. And let's have a seat in our chair. Please pay attention to how you sit down. Oh, I'm just making a big mess with props here. Okay, so I talked about how the first step, if you are having trouble ramping your head back, and I still have, my head is still forward. I have a long neck. I know I spent years and years on a computer doing this, but if it doesn't go back all the way and your neck muscles are tight, that could be another thing, that you're not really forward, but it just doesn't go back. Either way, it's good practice to keep those upper back muscles strong. So I talked about opening the upper back, but another thing is to open the front of the throat. So notice what hand is on the bottom. Put the other hand on top. Your collarbones are right at the base of your neck, kind of right below there in the center. And then you keep your pelvis upright, your ribs relaxed down. Just lift your chin up into the air and gently push in and pull down on the skin of your neck. And that's going to deepen the stretch. And the reason I say tension in the hands is because it's going to pull naturally a little bit more on one side with the bottom hand that's under the bottom hand. But then once you're here, you can deepen the stretch by pushing your bottom lip forward or pushing your bottom jaw forward, your bottom teeth. And just breathe in and out your nose probably. and release. Okay, switch the hand that's on the bottom. Now, one thing to be cautious of is we're lifting the chin, we're not dropping the head back. You're not hyperextending your neck. Your torso stays upright, you're just lifting your chin kind of forward and up. Pull down on the skin. Over time, you can pull down more. Bonus is it tones this area of the body. And you can push your bottom jaw or your bottom lip forward. Also just great. We don't think about this area, all these lymph nodes, so many vessels in this area. Breathing here. Keep trying to relax and soften even as you stretch. Play with micro movements. And then bring your head down, release your hands. Okay, let's sit up tall, first of all. You have options. We're gonna do all three separate, and then we're gonna put them together. So, leaning over to one side like you're reaching down to the floor, leaning over to the other side. So you can just hang out and do one of these. Second piece of the puzzle is right arm goes out to the right. Palm rotates up. And then a little bit of movement with that arm up and down. So let's actually drop your left ear to your left shoulder and move that arm small increments, ramping your head back a little bit, up and down. Feel the connection from your hand up through your shoulder and neck. And then, how about pull back a little and just bring back to where it was. Notice my hand and elbow are a little lower than my shoulder. Pull back a little and come up. I mean, it can be a little higher, but we're just not working above the shoulder. Okay, so you can put all three of those together, or you can just work on the side bend, or you can just work on the head or neck. But when you lean over to the left and drop your head over, it's going to allow for more dropping over. Rotate that palm up, little motion up and down with your arm, little back. Keep the rotation of the arm bone. You can slightly do different heights. Keep breathing. And then bring your head up nice and slowly. And bend down to the right. Come up. Bend down to the left. Come up. First, just do your left arm and your right ear to your right shoulder. Little bend in the elbow. Ramp the head back and up and down with the arm from about the height of the shoulder to the height of the low chest, or any little motion in between there. I often find like a little area and just work up and down a little bit in it, but you can do the whole shoulder to low chest. And then you can find any height and pull back a little and release. Okay, so your choice. If you just want to work on a side bend, or you just want to do your head and your neck and your arm, or arm out to the side bend over, and let your head maybe drop over a little further. Keep rotating that arm bone so the palm is up. And a little up and down motion here. Keep breathing. Feet are steady. Head ramps back. And pull back a little. Soften the face, relax the jaw. And then bring your head up nice and slowly. Stretch your legs straight. Think of rotating at the pelvis, keeping the spine long as the whole spine goes forward. So instead of the rounded spine forward fold, we're working on the straight back forward fold, so there's more motion where the thigh bone meets the pelvis. And then if you want to, you can drop your head down, letting your breath flow here. And then come back up and sit all the way back in your chair. And let your gaze soften or your eyes gently close. Just a reminder that this exercise is one of the best for your nervous system. Being with your body, being with your breath, observing without any judgment, just feeling part by part, piece by piece. And when you're relaxing, it's not about making alignment shifts, but you can definitely use your relaxation time to give you feedback. Like, oh, what is my pelvis doing when I relax? What are my ribs doing? What is my head doing? But most importantly, let yourself relax and be present with your body, with your toes, with your fingers, with your wrist, with your ankles, with your spine, from the very tip of your tailbone all the way up to the base of your skull. Take better care of yourself. Take better care of yourself than you ever have before. That's what your heart is telling you to do. Those times of depriving yourself, not being gentle and loving with yourself will no longer work. Punishing, criticizing, repressing, and denying won't bring the feelings, the growth, the results you're seeking. The harder you push, the more you relentlessly demand perfection, the worse you'll feel. Fall in love with yourself. Be gentle, loving, kind, and attentive. Take time throughout each day to tend to your needs, just as you would tend to someone you loved deeply and dearly. Loving and caring for yourself in this way won't waste time. It's not a delay. Take better care of yourself, and life's magic will return. Your life will improve. You'll feel better too. Taking care of yourself is a simple act with profound consequences. Bringing our hands together at heart center. Now is a good time to check on your alignment. Pelvis, ribs, shoulders relax, head ramps back a little, and then see if you can soften a little and breathe in gratitude for this day, for our bodies, for our breath. Namaste.